G'day everyone. So there's been a lot of chatter online about unity, especially between the centre-right or freedom-focused minor parties, especially over the last week. But we've been begging for unity for the last month to 6 weeks. We've really been putting pressure on all these different parties and candidates to find a way to come together. And in the last week and a half, I've been privy to a few conversations about this, and it's given me a lot of perspective on the matter. And I want to share with you what I've learned so that you don't despair if unity doesn't necessarily come together. Now, in an ideal world, all the freedom-focused candidates would be under the same party, and the volunteer network would only have to support one candidate in each electorate and then one candidate in each state. But unfortunately, we don't live in an ideal world. And even though we want unity, it doesn't mean that the people involved in these deals necessarily have pure intentions. And you've also got to consider that some candidates have been working on their strategy, on their campaign for 18 months to 2 years. They've started grassroots movements, they've spent their own money, and these potential deals would literally kick them out of the race completely. And I understand that that would be a hard slog for that person particularly. And then you also have people who have been working on their minor parties for 9 years. Now, they might not be a huge player, but it's still their baby. And if someone offers them a deal that completely dissolves their identity as a minor party, and what they're getting in return is not good for them or for the country or for the election, should they still take the deal? I don't know. I just want to tell you that it's not as black and white as it looks. To us as the voters, we're like, just come together. It's easy. Let's just do it. But it's not that easy. Trust me. You know, some contracts come with really bad linings and propositions that just aren't good. And so, you know, there's meetings coming up this week, and there's a lot of talk about who's coming and who's not. And I just want to give you some perspective that we can't judge a candidate or a party just because they don't go to a meeting or just because they do something in that moment that we might not agree with, because we don't know the conversations behind closed doors. And then on top of that, we have the mainstream media attacking certain candidates and parties that we've been loyal to in the past. And I just want to remind you that the mainstream media lie, remember? And with the upcoming election, they are wanting to divide our community as much as possible so that our volunteer networks don't have as much effect. So I just want to remind you, don't trust the mainstream media and don't judge a person or a party for not taking a deal because you do not know what that deal actually was. So what if unity doesn't happen the way that we like it? Well, my suggestion is stay loyal to the person that you like, the candidate that you like, regardless if they jump ship to different parties or if the head of that party seems to be doing something wrong. If that individual is good, you should support that individual, because I don't know what's going to happen in the next week or so when it comes to unity with these minor parties. And I'm telling you, I, for one, am not going to judge a party for not turning up to a meeting, and I'm not going to judge a party for not making a deal that isn't in their best interest of their members and of the country and for the election. So just keep in mind, you don't understand how difficult these sorts of deals are. There's so much involved, and we're never going to know all the details. I'm not, and you're definitely not either. So please do not despair if we don't get the result that we want. Either way, we're going to work our butts off for the election, and I think that, you know, a Liberal government is probably going to get in, and that's, I think, like pretty much going to happen. They don't need our help, and we probably wouldn't help them. But I'm going to be focusing on the important electorates that actually have green seats in there at the moment, because I think if we focus on getting the Greens out, it could be so powerful, because we don't want a hung parliament with Greens with balance of power. That would ruin this country. Okay, that's dramatic. It would be bad for this country, right? So let's focus on the seats that we can, and I'm gonna have a campaign coming out. It's all going to come out in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to focus on where we can achieve things, and we're not going to judge parties that we're loyal to, and we're not going to be divided because the mainstream media dig up dirt about X, Y, and Z. They lie about me all the time. They lie about them too. So just remember that when you read mainstream media, and let's not get divided only 6 weeks away from the election, because this is when we need to work together. Okay, so don't despair. don't fall for the fear tactics and don't fall the divide tactics, and stay loyal to who you're loyal to, and don't judge people for not taking deals because they might have been a really, really bad deal. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time.